Now then, long time no see. So 6 months since the last collected episode of Now That's Midschool. So I'm more than happy to say I'm on my way to another collection that I'm sure you're going to love.
For this episode, I went to the east coast of Yorkshire here in the UK to visit Rob Vasey and his collection of late midschool bikes. I've met Rob on a handful of occasions over the last few years, buying a frame, delivering a bike, picking up some forks and whatnot. I'd never actually laid eyes on his collection properly, but it wasn't for lack of trying. Anyway, I finally managed to persuade him to get himself and the bikes out for an episode, and I wasn't disappointed. Seeing his finely crafted bikes on the web is one thing, but getting to taking the details up close is another. Now, a small heads up. Being a bit rusty after 6 months of not doing collector episodes and being a bit excited to get into Rob's collection, you can hear Rob but you can't actually see him for the first 5 minutes. It was amateur hour until the penny dropped, so apologies for that. So with that said, grab a beverage and some snacks and take all those details in yourself.
I don't know which end to start at.
Start it, son.
I like the cut of your jib. So you've just got this out of the car. You picked this up recently?
No. I got that off from Australia as well. Some bloke sold it. I wasn't fast enough. And then I think it went to Mitch. Mitch, is it Sparrow?
Oh,
in Oz. He's friends with like James Ferguson. You know James.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, James helped me get it from Mitch because I don't know whether Mitch didn't have time to post it or whatever. But basically, I paid for it. James picked it up, and yeah, that was it. I got it from James.
Survivor.
Yeah, totally. Unfortunately, the only thing that's like, the biggest shit thing for me on that one is that it's cut to 14. But everyone did, didn't they? You know, because everyone was running pegs.
Yeah.
I'm having to run that Springfield as well because the brake boss on drive side, it's been cut slightly.
What, this one?
Yeah. And then if you try and put an ordinary brake on, they just bind up.
I'm going to say you've got slightly different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's loose. That.
Oh, is it? Oh well, it's come loose.
Right.
It's come loose. Yeah. Anyway, that's the only. Yeah. So these new setup brakes where they've got the spring on them, or the springs on the got like a cable hanger, haven't they? That's the spring.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can get to work on it because of that brake plug. But other than that, it's straight and it's true and it's original paint.
You like a standard, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's because it's my first custom. You know, when you sort of start, well, maybe not everyone does, but start off with sort of
a complete.
Yeah, mine was a GT and then a dyno.
Yeah.
And then it was like, we all found out about Dan's comp, and back then we were dead lucky. Exchange rate was just, whatever the price was in the States, you just halved it.
Yeah, I remember
so
those days.
If it was $350 for a frame, we were just halving that, and you were picking up, depending what you were buying, you were getting like a standard for 200 quid plus delivery or whatever. So yeah, I got a 250, but not until 2001.
Right.
And that's why sort of, well, not just that, it sort of got into standard because how unique alt riders were as well. Yeah. Totally unique team, and I know they've sort of changed quite a bit since he started it compared to like what it was like in the early days.
I'm just trying to think. 2001. Domination was 98. The video. Then they had Exit 63.
Country.
Then Standard Country. Now Standard Country, I think, late 2000.
Yeah.
So you're talking that team.
I had
there. That were a big squad video.
I've got that video, and it's absolutely class.
It really is. Really is.
Really good video.
And it had some big shoes to fill after Domination.
Yeah.
Domination for me, top 5 all day long.
Is it?
All day long.
Don't get me wrong, I really like it, but I can't pick a top 5. Like too many.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it was the video that I probably hammered the most.
Yeah.
Until I don't know, you know where fast, and yeah.
See, I missed that when I was younger because that was just before I got into it. I didn't start till '98, and yeah, I know it was out then, and I'd seen it advertised and that, but you can only afford so much. And the first vid I got was S&M4.
Right, yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant. I've hammered that a lot.
Yeah.
And the next vid I got was Road Fools Europe.
Right, yeah.
With Ruben on and that, where they go to France and all over it. That was.
But it'd have been Road Fools 1 that was the next video that got hammered. And again, it's a top fiver.
Yeah.
All day long. So what have you added? Have you added anything to this, or is it more or less as it came?
No, I mean, I got the frame, and it was just a case of trying to build it in a way that reflected the condition of the frame.
Finding those survivor parts.
Yeah, well, I had some different wheels on it before, and I honestly don't know whether them hubs are the ultimate hardware, some crap.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just like a cheapo kind of make from early 2000s, all it.
Cycle Sports,
was it?
Wasn't it?
But I got them because it just meant I could run 3613 or
it's a flip flop, isn't it, on the back?
I like the fact that the Rhino lights were faded to hell. And a mate, John Adams.
I don't think I've ever seen them in that copper colour.
They're faded. They're just if you take the tyres off, they're black.
What?
So they've been out. They've been outside that much. He's bleached the hell out of them.
Wow.
Sometimes I found these as well. These can look that sort of colour. These them Intacs. If they've been out in sun enough, racing or whatever in the States.
Bloody hell.
Or left outside.
Oh. Not seen that before.
So I just sort of built it up sort of survivor spec and sort of to suit me. Since I first built it, I've added these wheels and gone 44/16, and that's about it. And it is, I suppose, it's a bit of a mongrel because it's not sort of perfectly error correct. I've added some 9-inch bars on it, which obviously, like some people, absolutely despise that.
For me though. It makes the bike look right.
You think? I mean, for some people, say it makes it look crap.
No, I mean, obviously the bars were small back in the day. Even original slams, whilst they were small compared to today's standards, they were still big for two-piece bars. And I don't why we went so small. I don't know.
I mean, when I was a kid, it wasn't a problem, because you're smaller and they fit me. When I got to about 17 and I started getting back problems, obviously just was growing. And I did have to go up, but I mean, back then I could only go to, not knowing about certain other older bars that had come out that were like 9-inch and stuff, but they're super rare.
Now that I look at them, sort of next to T1 bars, they're massive.
Yeah, totally.
But it suits the bike.
Well, I mean, I suppose it helps because they're all chipped up, and I
stickers, and
I went mad with stickers on it, just because went for it. But just went for bigger bars because it makes it easy to ride. It's
and you do give them all a little ride out, don't you?
As much as I possibly can.
Yeah. Weather permitting here at UK.
yeah. Tell me about it.
Should be out now riding them.
I know you can't do everything though, can you?
I'm not going to lie, Rob. Right, I've always admired the bikes that you've built.
Thank you very much.
I don't know. You just seem to apply the right parts to the right frames. Even if they might not be era correct, the bikes just end up looking really good, in my opinion. And that's me blowing smoke up your ass.
Well, I mean, I suppose part of it's like a little bit kind of OCD, like where I mean, not so much now. I don't have that kind of tendency that I used to, but when I was a kid, it's just bike had to be perfect. Everything from like mechanically to how it felt to ride and geometry and colours. It was just one of them things that I was like. That's what I was like, and I suppose it's part of your personality. But these days, I lean into it when I want to, basically, rather than it being sort of as controlled as it used to be.
Got you.
Because I think, like, if you move on to that night train, I think them hubs are a bit later than the actual frame.
That was something I was struggling with, this Burma build.
Yeah.
The hubs, it's like, oh my God. Because I got a 43.2 sprocket off Nick Bevan, and I put it on, and I just thought, it don't look right with a big dish. But
I thought
era correct wise, 43 fit.
Yeah, I thought it did.
And doing my research, there were only a couple of other companies out making anything smaller.
Yeah.
Sort of, 39.
39, 36, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Profile started doing them. I mean, certainly 39, you could get them in mid-90s. But
you could. Flatland guys.
You could. And I mean, you know, if you really want to go for it, there's Graveyard, isn't there? They've been doing smaller sprockets for donkeys. But I mean, they didn't start doing things like that SS in 36 or the Whippets until like late 90s, early 2000s, something like that.
But it weren't until late 90s that came out.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like 1999.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I'd picked up these grey hubs. I bought the back one off eBay, and then it just so happened that Leroy had the front. And
was in.
Yeah. And I thought, these are going on a bike at some point.
Might not be era correct, but they match.
Well, they're era correct in terms of, maybe a year later.
Yeah.
Because that V2 shape, I mean, I think there was a Vandero's 2001, but it's certainly 2002. And then that V2 hub shape, I think I saw 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So Cubs are a little bit later. Could you get tie axles and that straight away? No, you couldn't. It's just me.
Yeah.
Because I'd found them. I had Hib mill that as well, so that I could run it in 14 or 10.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's if you look at the side of it, it's flat. It's only because of these animal wheel nuts. You see how long they are?
Yeah.
But you can't see it. But anyway, it's just in there. You can just see how it's milled flat either side.
Yeah.
So just so I can run it in either, because I want to keep them wheels. You know, I don't think I'll move them on.
Yeah, they'll fit a lot of bikes, those, won't they?
Yeah. So yeah, we just.
It's not that bad, that.
It's not. No, obviously it's built light as well.
Yeah.
You know, like for the time, it's built light. I mean, it's not. Tie axles make a small difference. The main thing is like the wheels, the forks. I know 19mm profiles aren't sort of like really light, but they're lighter than, you know, a lot of other stuff that you could run at the time, like Primos and that. So, I got that GT seat that had some leather cover on it. I think I got off Stephen Joseph.
Yes.
And then I had that Dig T-shirt I got off someone else, and I didn't really buy it to wear it or anything. I thought, I'm going to cut this up and put it on a bike, because it kind of. I like when people have recovered seats and
personalise them.
Yeah, me personally, I don't like them when they stand out loads. I kind of like them looking subtle. So sometimes when people just put, I don't know, just something fairly plain on.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about that Dig T, because you could hardly see. You can hardly see it design, but anyway, I stuck that on.
Thompson Elite Post.
Yeah, a bit fancy.
Little bit. Ooh, this is.
And that stem, that's what I got when I got my 250. So I've had that stem since I was 16.
Really?
Yeah, so 2001.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Kept hold of it.
Well, my mate still got my bike. He's just an unsociable bastard and I don't see him much.
Well, after this, we'll go round and
yeah. I wish I could tell you where it is. He's in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. No, I mean, I saw him about a year or so ago, and he's like, I'll have to give you your bike back at some point. So I'll get it at some point.
Those bars are so narrow. Every time I do these shows, I see people's bikes and they've got the bars on from that era. It never fails to amaze me how small bars were.
How you used to ride them. like I say, like when you like, depending on your height, it's like how people used to ride them, I don't know. When I was a kid, it kind of makes sense. And especially when we were all trying to learn bar spins and stuff. I mean, not that I ever nailed them.
No, same.
I just constantly hit my knees and I gave up. Just didn't have the talent. But yeah, we all tried. And it was also like about the look as well. You know, it was just a fashion thing.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, as you grow up and you get taller, and I'm not that tall, I had to go for bigger bars.
Sick. Yeah, no, but that's a nice night train. That.
Yeah,
I considered one of those before looking for a live wire.
Yeah.
Prior to being offered my Anthem Steadfast.
Yeah.
To make up my 3 FBMs. But yeah.
As soon as this is over, I'll be sticking some bigger bars on that so I can ride it.
Roll on it some more.
Yeah, well, I can't. Well, yeah, I can ride it with them on.
Yeah. It's not going to be a nice experience. Is
Squirrely.
it? Not going to be a nice experience.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I've done with Bullet. When I first built it, I had Bullet bars on it, actual standard Bullet bars, but again, they're tiny. So I'd totally given up on trying to get one of these.
Something you've been after for a while.
Yeah. As soon as I started, it was one of the frames I'd wanted to get, and I'd seen some come up, silly money, rubbish condition, or people just, can't be bothered to ship it across the pond. So like I say, yeah, totally gave up. And then this turned up with no stickers on it on eBay, and I was sure it was a Bullet, but what was odd is it's a flat green, more like a British racing green, or I suppose in America the Ford brain's failing me, muscle car, Mustang,
yeah.
I think they have, yeah, maybe after that. But anyway, so the stock
sounds about right.
Stock ones came out with like a metallic green. Right. This is flat green.
Suggesting it's been repowdered.
No, it's original.
Right.
It's original paint, and it's 10mm dropouts, and it's also, if you look at the stays, you've got a tube brace at the top, but then you've got a lengthy style wraparound at the bottom.
That's right. Yeah, I was just about to ask about that.
On the Bullet, all the other ones that I've seen have a tube
brace
on the chain stays as well. So
yeah, I was just about to ask.
Yeah, so what I did before I even bought it, because there was a point in time where if I saw something like this, I'd buy it and ask questions later.
yeah. And
I left it, and I messaged Rick, and he was, super helpful. He said, yeah, we can't obviously remember this specific one or out like that. He said, that looks completely original, and we did make customs, and 10mm was an option, but very few people got it, so someone will have asked for it. So, and then the other surprising thing that, again, made me think what's going on here is, if you look at the serial on the BB, it's got 01 on it, and it was like, well, hang on, I thought they came out 2003, and I think maybe in the UK we didn't physically see them until 2003, but
often the case.
Yeah, and then, of course, and then yeah, when I saw it was 2001, and I spoke to Rick, and he was like, no, that is a Bullet. Like, I couldn't believe that you could get a frame. I mean, I know Euro BB is like Marmite for
for some of us.
Yeah, it's, love them or hate them. But for me, because I wasn't really big into grinding,
it worked.
I'm not heavy, so I don't tend to hammer bearings as such. I've run Euro BBs before, not really had any problems, so it doesn't bother me that it's a Euro. For me, to get a frame that light, that dialed, perfect geometry, because it's essentially Trail Boss geometry that came out in like 97 or whatever, or even if you want to go earlier, not the first motocross, but maybe 95-ish, when it went from something like a 73.5 to a 74.5. The geometry is the same. So it rides really nice. It's light. I purposely built it with like that anal side where you're like, oh, what can I use to make it light? So I went for, again, not really completely error correct, the Odyssey race hubs that are on it, cassette and front, they didn't come out until maybe 2004. So they're a bit late for it, but anyway, I stuck them on because they're hollow chromo axles and has a alloy driver and tie spindle.
OX Platinum frame.
Yeah, OX Platinum.
What length is this? 20.5, you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they balance? Frame only?
That legend. Can't remember whether I did that or not. But what I do know is it's light. It's
It is.
It's
That is.
sub £6 that frame. I forget exactly what it was now, but it's light.
That bike is light.
Yeah,
for
well,
the
again,
era.
yeah, built it to ride it. But I mean, I could have, for argument's sake, I just could have used some kind of flip flop hub from that was error correct. Them pedals are pretty hard to find, and Rick. Well, not just Rick. The standard team back then were all on.
That's right. Yeah, they were like co-sponsor, weren't they?
Yeah, and there's like a prototype version that he was riding. I don't know whether Rick ever rode this particular one, but this is the version that everyone could buy. And then there's a slightly different version, and they're like a bit like the Welgo MG1s, are a magnesium alloy pedal. No,
Yeah,
steel axle,
magnesium body.
yeah. So yeah, it was just built with a mind on lightweight and some sun parts. And so yeah, I mean, out of all the bikes that I've got here, that is definitely, I hate saying favourite because I don't really do favourites, but you know, to ride and everything, it's spot on for me.
Slammer jammer headset.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they're not easy to find either.
I bet they're not. Certainly not in this country.
No. Well, again, it was like, I build it with a few sun parts, you know. I mean, I've got what I could put on it that'd be error correct is Attila the hubs. I could put them on at some point, but I don't have a 13-tooth cog. They've got a slightly different driver to shape to profile.
Right.
And I did get Hib to machine me a profile 13 because it's only slightly different. And just to say the profile is just to say too tight, and I need to spend some time filing it out a bit just to get it to fit. And then I could have sun wheels on it. And then the other thing that'd be cool at some point, but I'm not paying daft money, is Rick used to run a Sun Ringle Moby seat post as well.
A what?
They're just a posh alloy seat post.
Right.
It was like a lot of companies like Toyota or anyone like that. They did a load of stuff that was crossover for mountain bike or BMX back then, especially before discs.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, yeah, there's pictures in an old ride, and Rick's got a lot of this Sun stuff on his bike. So yeah, when I saw that for sale in the UK, that headset, I went for it.
Yeah, why not? Why bloody not?
And them bars are just modern Reuben bars, but
are they
re-stickered,
bullet?
Just to look like bullet. Because I've got a bullet set, but like I say, they're tiny.
Do you know what the difference was with bullet bars again? Between the regular strip bars?
Something minute in Rise. It was like if the strip bars were something like 775, they were something like 785. Just slightly tweaked to whatever Rick wanted at the time.
Yeah.
But I was talking to him about it when I built it up initially, and I was like, I don't know how you used to ride them bars, mate. He said, I still ride small bars. And I don't know what he rides now. I don't know if he rides as small as the Bullets, but when you see him riding now, he's still riding maybe, you know, just regular 8-inch or something like that. Yeah. Not riding bigger bars like a lot of us do.
And the fork legs, Bullet race forks, I was going to say, because they look spindly.
You can get Bullet forks, but they're super rare. And the last set I saw for sale had 990s on 990 lugs on them. Right. And I was never gonna put a front brake on this. So if I ever see a set, I probably would get them, but
just out of curiosity.
Yeah, and they're not particularly a lot lighter than the regular Bash at the time. They're only slightly lighter. So I mean, arguably maybe race forks are the better option anyway.
So what we say, we've got the Fit Series 2,
2003. Although to be fair, again with them being American, that I can't really remember seeing them until probably 2004. You know, like I never had one back then, but at skate parks and stuff. Because I remember when I first got into this, I was thinking Series 2, that's about 2005. No, earlier than you think. You know, the press fit headset ones especially, and was it the S2I sort of only 6 months or not even a year later they brought out the internal headset ones, didn't they? I
don't know. I'm not all that clued up on the fits. Certainly beyond the Series 1. So I'm all down for an education.
I mean, really, in some ways, you know, it's very similar to Series 1. You know, in terms of looks, really what they've done is they've lightened it up. The dropouts are smaller.
Yep.
And that's about it. And there was the Euro BB option.
Was that an option, was it?
I think you could get...
The Series 1 was US only, wasn't it?
I think you could... Well, you say that. But was it Van Omen's signature had a Euro option? Because he was really late onto the team, wasn't he?
I was going to say he was late onto the team.
Yeah.
I don't think he got a Series 1, did he?
It was a Series 1 frame, but they just called it the Van Omen, didn't they? And then I think, you know, they were pretty much on with Series 2.
Series 2.
But, yeah. So I think most of them tend to have a Euro, don't they? But I think there is Series 2s with USBBs out there. This is another one that's, well, for me, I really feel about it, right? With bigger bars, mind, because they're just slams. But yeah, I like how it rides. Again, built it pretty damn light.
Revenge brake. Oosh. Don't see many of them about.
No, it don't work that great neither.
Really? 'Cause they're on bearings, those, aren't they?
I mean, you know, it's all right to set up and that, but like it's no, but I can get a Hombre working just as good. You know, and these days actually it's dead easy because you just get some of them clear pads and they just bite like mad, don't they?
Yeah.
But they're too much for me. But so it works fine, but you know, you're not getting for how much they were. I wonder
how many were made.
Yeah, I don't know. They can't have made many because they didn't really make any cash with them, did they?
They didn't go very far at all, did it, Revenge? Just a little sideline for Sean.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you though, it would have been nice if it was still there, even if just catering just for Flatland, but the sort of they just pulled it all back under S&M, didn't they?
I was going to say, yeah, if they'd have made Revenge the S&M components arm.
Maybe, yeah.
But
yeah.
Can't question Chris Mauler's sense though. He's still there, isn't he?
Oh,
still
yeah.
doing his thing.
Yeah. So yeah, race forks, like the first RVs, I think they. So before that, it was next gen Challenger that looked like pitchforks. Of this, you know, they look exactly the same. They're just lighter, slightly thinner dropout. These are, I think, 2001, 2, or maybe into 2003, and then the next model from them is the ones that most people are familiar with, the XLTs with the whole link dropout.
Got you.
Where these, without stickers on, they look so similar to standard race forks.
I was just about to say that dropout profile.
So similar,
yeah.
But I mean, it's not like they nicked it from standard because I mean, Hutch and God knows many other companies had that kind of dropout shape on forks going back into 80s. So
yeah,
one of them things.
Chris King headset. We're considering trying to find one from Burma.
I have paid 80 quid for one once, which I think is way too much because it's second hand. But
what are they new? They're still about 120 quid out there.
Yeah, but I've got at least one other one, and I only got it for about 50 quid or something. So I haven't always paid a lot for them. I don't have a desperate need to buy Chris King headsets. I actually prefer solid, but it is nice to have a sealed headset sometimes. S&M Little Man sprocket.
Yeah.
And the theme on my bikes is I do like 3613, just something about 36 tooth sprockets. Sort of halfway house between micro and...
Well, again, that time we were beginning to downsize, weren't we, on our gear ratios?
Yeah.
To lighten the bikes up.
Yeah, well, and then how many times have you sort of cased and hit your sprocket, and if you hadn't hit your sprocket, you would have got away with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was another big bonus.
Yeah. And another theme, profile cranks.
Yeah, I mean, at one point when I was doing builds, long before this video, I was building bikes with different cranks just to be different.
Right.
But then I just, yeah, I've got a total bias with 90mm profiles.
I would have profiled.
I'm not saying they're perfect
forever.
That you know they're not, but for me, I've never broken a set. riding, and they just look awesome. They're just the best aesthetically. They're just the best looking crank to me. That's why I thought, when I sort of had a purge a few years ago and sold quite a few things, I thought, I'm going to build stuff up again. I'm just going to build it with profiles, even though it means I'll just have profiles on everything.
What stem you are? Animal.
Yeah.
The first gen?
Original pop-off one, yeah. Oh, no, tell a lie. Sorry, I did have an original pop-off. That is a repop.
Ah, right.
Pop-off stem.
Yeah.
I mean, virtually indistinguishable.
I was just about to say, like, whoa.
Yeah, no, I did have one. Again, I think I got rid of a load of stuff a few years back, and then when I got rid of it and sort of started, the bug was creeping in, and I started buying more frames. Like, I need some more top load stems, and that came up cheap, and I just bought it.
GT dropper.
Yeah, it's another cliche thing that I kind of use, that I just don't care if it's cliche, because everyone wants them and
They do look so good.
Well, it's opinion, isn't it? But for me, yeah, on those are super hard to find, the Spandura covered ones, and I don't know why that's got black rails, because everyone I've seen, like this one on this standard, the silver,
yeah,
for some reason 2 came up at the same time, and I bought both of them at the same time, thinking I'll maybe sell one. Anyway, I've still got both of them. Yeah, and they've got black rails as well, which, I mean, depending what kind of build you're doing, if you're being like, you know,
murdered out, as they call
bit
it.
OCD, or yeah, so if you're doing like something like a build that's got chrome on it and that, silver rails look cool, but for me, it was nice to get black rails. Because at one point, I was going to swap the pad onto one that had black rails, but I mean, when I picked these up, I just, yeah, don't need to.
No. From UK as well? Or?
No, States.
Right.
States. And actually, yes, you know, in common sense world, like normal people world, I paid silly money for what used to be like a 20-25 quid seat when they came out. I think I paid about 200 quid, and not including getting them over here.
Yeah.
But people asked that for just one, so I was just like, yeah, I get them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're kind of a bit cliche, but
gone for the Kevlar dirt monster on that.
I love them.
Do you think there's much weight difference?
Nah, there's not really much
negligible
weight negligible to feel, because it's still it's not a foldable tire.
No.
Like some of the later stuff, but again, you know, sort of nostalgia. I remember, I can't remember why, but I needed a tire when I was at Ape Skate, and back then they had a little shop, and for some reason they had one of them, and I got one, and I rode it for donkeys. So yeah, just that memory of riding at Ape and that, it's like, I want some, and I did have a pair, but then the back one that I got, it had dried out too much. By the time I got some air in it and ridden it a bit, it split.
Become brittle.
Afraid so.
Yeah. Ape. Only ever went there once, I think. How far from here is that?
So from here, it's only about 45-50 minutes.
Is that all? No,
I mean, to be fair, in winter, no traffic, etc. When you're young lads and you fly over there, you know, you sort of nearly get there in about 40 minutes.
Oh, right.
And we had Redcar as well. We had
that's right, yeah. That was only around the corner from Ape, wasn't it?
You know, when I started in '98, you know, the only way we could get there was on train. A couple of mates' dads did take us in car, but not that often. It really wasn't until I was old enough to drive in 2003 that started going over in cars. And when I think about it now, because they're not there, so damn lucky to have them, because you know what it's like in this country. 6 months a year, you hardly get out.
That's right.
And you know, and initially Ape had indoor trails as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Although
Cheeky Monkeys just posted up a series of competition footage.
Yeah.
From Ape. Did you see it?
Yeah.
I spotted a couple of my mates riding.
I was going to say, when I say that, it's like, oh, fucking, have you got any more? Have you got any more? And even if it's just boring, you're just like, oh, I remember him. Remember that bike?
Yeah.
Just, Yeah, just pure nostalgia for you know, the times that you spent there.
Now then.
Yeah, one people get really excited about, eh?
Yeah, they do. And I think it's just the rarity of them. And I mean, Garrett Burns, for me,
I was just going to say,
he was for me. And you know what? Might upset a few people, but I still regard him as the best pegless rider there's ever been.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was just one at best. You know, I mean, I don't really have favourites when it comes to riders, but back then he was sort of right for me. You know, looking up to people like him, and just absolutely awesome. Having said that, though, my favourite T1 for him is progression, and it's only because your options there are 20 or 21.
Yes.
That ultimately, once I got my hands on a progression, I ended up doing a trade, so that because I'd built up some 21s and I can ride them, but not like I can ride the shorter stuff. So I sounded out Gav, and eventually got this.
I'm so surprised he parted with it. So surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Has he got another though?
Yeah. If he didn't have another, it would have been no way.
Yeah, yeah.
And he didn't have a spooky progression. Not a V1 anyway.
Oh, he had the Brew Gen 2.
Yeah. So that helps as well. But yeah, I just thought, right, well, I do really want a T1, and ideally it would have been a progression. But yeah, ended up getting that because it's like, for me, being able to have something terrible one was like a must, because I really like the Rubens as well. You know, the mass Rubens.
Yeah.
And I did have one for a bit, but I can't remember what I did now. But I ended up flogging it because I'd found something else that I wanted, needed money. But yeah, so I got that off Gav. It had some work done to it by Leroy. It hadn't had a, you know, it wasn't absolutely battered, but it had a few dings in it and that. So got them sort of sorted out.
Yeah.
Tidied up. It did, and then actually when Gav was looking at it, it did have a crack on the top tube.
Oh, did it?
But what, if I remember right, hang on, was it the top tube or the down tube? I forget now without digging pictures out, but basically from one of these gussets, it had gone all the way around. Just a hairline. So just got
around the middle of the tube. Well, middle of the
length. So it wasn't on the out. It wasn't on the gusset, and it wasn't sort of where you'd, on the stress point where you'd expect it. It was sort of around the top.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just got Leroy to tie that up. Painted it. Bob's your uncle. The other thing I wanted to do with this one is, although it seems a bit sort of not error correct, is use fly stuff. Flying T1, obviously.
Yeah.
Good mates. Go together.
Go sort of hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, but when you look back, you think, oh, them brakes and that. Oh, no, they're too late. Well, they did come out in 2003. They
haven't changed really at all, have they?
No, it's slightly, but I mean,
it's details.
Yeah. So I thought hubs, brake. Have I put out else on? Just a few fly sprocket.
Is that the original Evolver?
Yeah.
On the bullet. Right, yeah. I thought so. Yeah, it's not an Evolver 2.
No.
The original, because you can't find them for love nor money.
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Find me
You're
one.
just not as sad as me.
With all your Google alerts. You've set up algorithms and all sorts, haven't you?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. For all I know, yeah. But I tell you what, you can't blame me. You know as well as I do. You know #1 is in this country.
Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But again, so I've done what I always do. It's 3613. I built it pretty damn light. I've got fly forks on it, the Sergio Leos forks, V1 Pantera. Again, unbelievably, that frame and fork came out in 2003. So, yeah.
You like? I was going to say you like your fly bikes as well, don't you?
Yeah,
you've had a few of those, haven't
you? I have had a few of them. I rode one, although not mid-school. I had a Mosca, 2006, 2010. I rode that. really good stuff. My mates had them as well. My mates had Panteras, MacGyver, not MacGyver, is it MacGyver? One of the early ones, I can't remember now. Tierras. They're just, I mean, you know, like most bike companies, they've all got their faults, and Fly do as well, but their design and some of the innovation they did, and the aesthetics of the frames, and just simple things that they came up with, and then the fact that, you know, the team,
Yeah.
even the lads that you don't know, or that I didn't know at the time, from Spain.
Rip.
I mean, I was at Backyard when Sergio at Derby, and he won that. I think he won street in that Backyard. I was just, yeah, can't put it into words, you know, or what that kind of influence that has on, you know, on a, what will we be then, sort of, God, 16, 17, something like that. And it's like, you're still totally easily drawn in by, yeah, but
killer.
rightly so as well, you know, and obviously Ruben as well.
Yeah. Trail Slayer tyre. Haven't seen many of those on many builds.
No, well, they are kind of rare. Garrett did ride for Demolition, but I can't remember whether he was riding for Demolition when he got his signature frame, or whether he'd finished with them by then. But
because he were on XS at first, wasn't he?
Yeah,
XS.
yeah.
And then obviously they folded not much later.
Yeah.
So what are on the first Team Demolition video?
I think he is, yeah. Because I think his ender is it like a track and field, something like that. It's not a baseball ground. I think it's track and field, and there's like a stand for a crowd to sit on, and he jumps over it.
The bleacher gap.
Is it?
We're going to say that was Criminal Mischief. That.
No, I don't think it's. Oh, is it? I'm maybe getting confused now.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, he's on Demolition, first Demolition video.
Yeah, I'll have to revisit that one. I'll have to revisit. But that's a pretty sweet build. That very sweet. T1 bars again.
Yeah.
Original Challenger stem, or is that a newer?
No, that's an original one. That.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do with that is I've got a
You're going to swap it with me for my newer Challenger?
No. Well, what I tried to do is I wanted, you know, the Enduros.
Yes.
I really like them, but they only do them in 53. And being a short ass, I wanted the 49mm reach. Yep.
Drone just been spying on us until I looked up at it. Keep your eye on that fucker.
They're all over these days, aren't they? I forgot where I was now.
Challenger stem and Enduro stem.
Now that S&M make them in house, the hardware is different, slightly different sizes, and I don't know whether they've gone from imperial to metric.
Yeah, they have, because back in the day they were 1/4 inch.
Yeah, so that's 1/4 inch, and if you want to use a current
metric,
if you want to use a current Challenger, because they're easy to get hold of, with an old redneck cap to make it into a shorter reach Enduro, you can't.
No, well that'll be the threads that are different. They'll have been coarse threads, whereas the new ones are fine threads.
So I have got one. I just haven't done it yet. I'm going to put an old round edge redneck front cap on that to make it look like an Enduro.
Yeah, nice.
And then again, when this is all over, that'll have some bigger bars on it, so that when the feeling takes me, I can take it for a spin.
Absolutely. And solid grips.
Yeah, they're not easy to get neither, are they?
No. Well, I can't imagine many of those were made.
I mean,
there would have been a minimum order, I would have thought.
Yeah.
From whoever made them.
There were, for me, it's like sometimes it's just you kind of get a bit excited about how rare something is, and that's why you want them. But I actually had a set of them back in the day, and unfortunately they only lasted a couple of months. Just wore straight to them, really quick. But back when I got them, I was 15, 16. I was out virtually every day riding. So they just, they only lasted a few months. Otherwise, I love them.
Very, very nice. That brake pad's seen better days.
Yeah, I tell you what, I kind of need to reset that brake up. It's not working that well for a fly.
I think that spring there might be.
What it's struggling with is because I want to run it slammed, and if I run it say mid dropout, it can set it up and it'll work better.
Got you.
But if I move it further in where I want the back end, it's struggling, and you can only just to say get the brake pads on the rim. And so what I was gonna do, I haven't got round to it, is I was just going to add some more washers on the inside there, just to space it out a bit, and then it should set up and work a bit better. And maybe it wants new springs, but it works good enough like that for now.
Signed as well.
Yeah, you know, massive thanks to Joe for basically acknowledging those geeks, because anytime one of us has one of these signature frames that is missing a sticker or whatever, he's always on it and comes straight back to us. Yeah,
Adrian Jones are obviously like singing his praises, and I concurred that I'd heard various other collectors and whatnot saying nothing but nice things about Joe.
Yeah, I mean,
and anybody that's down with T1 basically.
Yeah.
Well, down with BMX.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's dead easy to get hold of, though obviously depending what he's up to.
So did he have to send that to Garrett? For Garrett?
Well, no. What he'd done, and I'm guessing he's maybe done it as and when different people he's seen them. He's like, sign me a bunch of these
while you're here.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So yeah,
sick.
Original stickers as well, not repops.
Yeah.
You know, the Garrett stickers.
Yeah, head tube, and
I put that one up bars as well. That's not going anywhere. And then I've got one under the down tube as well.
There it is. Yeah.
At some point, I'm going to get the barcode for the top tube.
Yes.
I don't know when, but yeah, at some point. Those are the only other Garrett stickers that I want for it.
Just to finish it off.
I mean, it's fine as it is, but yeah, I quite like them on as well, and then that'll be enough for me.
Keeper?
Never say never, me. But
because you've had a multitude of bikes before this particular lineup, haven't you?
I was going to say one thing it'd be probably quite good to do is as part of this, I could send you pictures of stuff I've built before and then ended up selling, because when I went to ride, it just didn't feel that great. More in terms of geometry than anything.
No, stuff like that.
Whereas this, the back end feels a little bit long for me, but it's not bad. And like, because of the way I've built it, it's light really for the era, so I can't see me getting rid of it anytime soon. But yeah, never say never.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice.
When you get a new project, are you thinking, right, blank slate, or is it, well, I've got these parts, I've got those parts, I can pretty much make a bike out of that?
Yeah,
right.
I think it depends. Some frames, or you know, you definitely have a particular look in your head, don't you? And it's, you know, it's completely unique to you usually, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. But you want it to be, don't you?
You want it to be, but I mean, obviously I use a lot of stuff that a lot of other people use, so I am following like trends to a certain extent on building these, but I don't care.
I think those trends are born out of era correctness, though, aren't they?
To a certain extent, yeah.
No one goes out of the way to put a bike together with a mishmash of eras.
Yeah, true. Oh, well, arguably I'm doing that because some of my bikes, you know, they've got modern bars on and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So things like the Garrett, I definitely had something in my head about, well, how am I going to build this? The same with Bullet. Some of them evolve. Like I'll start thinking one way, but then if I've already got certain parts, I'll go, actually that'll work. That'll look nice, or that's what I want. I mean, at the moment, that S.O.B over there.
Unfortunately, just prior to me arriving at Rob's, the back tyre blew out on his S.O.B, so please forgive that son of a bitch for its appearance.
That's kind of like mongrelized, because, like I say, I'm waiting on a freewheel, so it's actually got that Sun Attila cassette on the back at the moment, just so I could ride it the other day. I've got a different sprocket coming. But other than that, it's, you know, that I think that back wheel is sort of not era correct, but the rest of it is.
Let's see if we can get it to shine.
Oh yes. So at some point, when I get that freewheel, I'll get this. And a sprocket that I want for it. This will be about finished because it's nearly there.
Lot of pressure on me stand there.
No, well, do you know how light that is? It's only coming at about 30 odd pounds. It's not like 35, 38. It's about 30, 31, something like that.
I've said before, like, they're not the tanks that they are.
Do you want something else?
I might have to use the bucket in the end anyway. Yeah, I think it's safest, isn't it?
Oh, it's scratched to hell, so it doesn't matter if it falls over.
Well, it's a survivor, isn't it? Frame.
Yeah, totally. Well, generally speaking, I'm not into heavier frames and that, but then somewhere along the line, I think also you had said how yours, I forget what you said yours was, £7 something.
A smidge over.
Yeah.
7 1/4, I think.
Yeah, right. And I thought, that's not bad, because when I had that Burma, I built that thinking this is going to feel not that fun to ride, because they're about £7. And that was a good bike to ride. It felt good to ride. The way I built it meant that actually, yeah, it's heavier than a modern bike, but you know, it's not at all overly heavy. And the same kind of things happen with this, really. It's the heaviest bike I've built yet, but actually, in the scheme of things, and compared to what people used to ride, that's light.
Yeah.
So
compared to your War Pig that came along a little bit later.
Yeah.
Your Pox, even your sort of next gen dirt bikes and homes were heavier than that.
Yeah. So I'm pretty damn happy with it. So it was a case of I got it for a decent price. I really liked that it was a Survivor with original paint and stickers. The other thing, nostalgia on this one is one of my mates got one, bought it out back a ride in probably 2000.
Oh, the old classifieds it back a ride. Yeah.
No, I can't remember whether he had a mitered one like mine or I forget what you call it now, but the other version, capped or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had a green SOB like this, and you know, when you're like a skinny 15-year-old, and he had Peregrine Fat Jacks on with them. What gauge is it? 12 gauge spokes.
12 gauge spokes. That's right. Yeah.
Pegs. Smaller bars than that, a red neck as well, so it made the front end really long and low. And I remember looking at it and going, wow, what a bike, and then getting on it and going, oh my god, I can't ride that for toffee. But he used to throw it around really well, and it was one of them things where everyone was like psyched on, you know, one of our mates getting a really good bike. And I don't think he had many parts similar to what I've got on, maybe other than say the brake. I think everything else he had on it was different, and that's how he'd bought it off, wherever he got it off. Yeah,
lovely DK stem and sprocket on it. I'm digging.
I'm actually going to take that DK. I wanted a retro blade on it, and I've been struggling to find one. Well, for a decent price anyway. And in the end, I've paid more than I wanted for one, but not as much as he was asking. So yeah, because again, my mate Adam, he had I'm pretty sure he had a retro blade on it, so it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stick a retro blade on.
Yeah, my mate Wayne, he had one. It was skinny as out, still is really, I suppose. And the stuff he used to be able to do it, he had the biggest bunny hop out of all of us, biggest bunny hop 180, and all on the SOB.
Yeah,
you know, we'll never forget riding street in Wakefield one day, and there was like this, it wasn't even a loading bay, because there was a row of bricks that sort of capped the top and edge.
Yeah.
So if you came off it, you had to bunny up over the bricks, or if you were going to hop onto it, you had to hop over the bricks and onto the ledge. One day, out of the blue, just messing around, didn't say anything to anybody, it would just caught out at the corner of our eyes. He 180'd up onto this bay, about that high, on a SOB.
Yeah.
Like, it was just...
Yeah, because, you know, going back far enough, not many people could hop like even bar right, could they?
Oh. I mean, yeah, bars were lower, but even so, you know, on a bike back in '97, everything were heavier.
Yeah.
Even if it were light.
Don't get me wrong, there's some out there, aren't there? But it wasn't common like it is now. Like a lot of street riders, a lot of them can hop really mega high.
Yeah. Stupid high. You
Yeah.
Brock Rayfords and that kind of thing. Oh. Original DK Fox.
Yeah, got them off Harry. I had some dirt forks, and what's funny is they're the street forks, and obviously got the cutout for
pegs,
but also, you know, less of a rake on them. I'm guessing if you're doing more like ramp tricks and front end stuff. But the dirt forks weigh as much as the street forks, and they're nigh on 4 pounds.
4 pounds.
Yeah, they're nigh on 4 pounds.
That's ridiculous. That's like, you know.
I know.
More than half the
I
frame.
didn't think there'd be anywhere near that heavy. I thought there'd be like pitch and like, I thought there'd be like 3.5. But yeah, still it doesn't. Again, the back end on this, I haven't measured it because I've got it slammed. Feels a bit long for me, but it's not so long it feels crap. So it doesn't feel bad to ride. But so if I, you know, change the forks out, I could easily, you know, find some, I don't know, standard race forks.
Yeah.
And you'd lose like £1.5 pound or something straight away off the front end. So you can make it lighter still.
I really do have a soft spot for the S.O.B, and I just think ergonomically and aesthetically it's perfect.
It screams that late 90s as well, doesn't it?
Late 90s, but it just looks balanced. Fat front end, fat rear end, not fat front end with spindly rear end like the 2.8 Pork.
Yeah. What do you think?
Or the Gax. It just has that balance.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who I was talking to now on one of the episodes, but I was just saying Taj rode one on Road Fools 1.
Yeah.
So they must have rode really, really well. Really well.
No, it doesn't ride bad at all. But that tyre, it went yesterday, so
yeah, the tyre, herniated tyre.
Didn't take much. A few 180s, and it was. I came back and looked at it, and it had gone.
Bless it.
Well, it's my own fault for trying to ride something that's 25 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very nice. And again, profile made GT cranks.
Yep.
Keeping within the theme of things.
Yep. Lucky to get them for a decent price as well.
The Gorilla on the bottom.
Yep.
Strip bars?
Yep. Yeah, sticker on front. Yeah, original sticker and.
Damn.
Got them off Sharpie.
Right, yeah. Your mate Sharpie down in Oz. See the bants there on the various social channels.
You got to have a laugh, haven't you?
Of course you have.
Yeah,
the world would be really dull if you didn't.
Yeah, it's just a lad thing, and it ripped the absolute shit out of each other.
Yeah, I think you've put some inappropriate things on packages to me as well, haven't you? Fucker.
A week later, and those tweaks in the tyre issue were done, and this is the finished article. What a beauty. And here's a few hooded shots of one of his FBM bitching Camaros. 2005, in my opinion, is early new school, but who out of us doesn't appreciate a fast FBM? I hope you enjoyed that. A big thanks to Rob for finding the time to get this done, and I'll try not to leave it as long between episodes next time. I'm sure you know the drill by now. Like, subscribe, comment and share all over, and we'll see you on the next episode of Now That's Midschool. Bye bye.